Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Doherty, and welcome to the summer edition of the Ask Rosie Show. So without further ado, she's a dancer, and she's a prancer, Rosie Doherty.
Woo!
How you doing, Rose?
I'm doing good, and today's question is the most complex question that I will ever ask our audience out in Facebook. And I'm serious. This is a two-part question, kind of. So, what doesn't apply to me in Joel's synesthesia? Is it science, time, emotions, numbers, or colors? So for your replies, please reply to the comment section. And if you're talking about Joel's, then put it on Joel's. Write Joel down, and if you're talking about Rosie, put Rosie down. So now I'm going to introduce Joel. He is the writer of Mirror Touch and a great, incredible friend that really inspired me, and awesome person. Please welcome Joel Salinas.
Woo! Where's the book?
I got the book.
Okay.
Okay, that was kind of like an intermission.
Okay, go ahead, Rose.
So, Joel, how do you see that guy over there?
Yes, it's the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, it is the Phantom. So what colors do you see that Phantom?
The Phantom of the Opera looks like he's a bit of 4, 8, and big 0. So that's like white and blue and yellow. 4 blue, 8 yellow, 0 white.
That was very good. I'll tell you how I see that Phantom of the Opera. That Phantom of the Opera is orange, red, and sometimes black.
Oh. When is he black?
Oh, when he does like crazy stuff. He has to play.
So, Rose, sorry. Hey, Rosie, so ask Joel, how did you meet Joel?
So, what was it like meeting me for the first time?
So I met you for the first time at Mass General Hospital in a conference room, and you were there with your whole family, and seeing you were really excited and really chatty. And the more we chatted, the more chattier you got. And it was great to see you kind of bringing up questions to me, but also talking about everything you knew about Hamilton, and kind of you and your family knew your story so well, just kept them bouncing back and forth, but you all kind of knew the same story. So it was really great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I guess Joel had
Rosie? That's more about...
So how do you perceive music?
So with music, depends on what I'm listening to, but usually there's some kind of color and shapes tied to the music as well. So usually high-pitched sounds are bright and usually small shapes, and low-pitched sounds are dark colors and big shapes. And sometimes, like with lots of like violins or lots of tinkling sounds, there's lots of little lines going up and down.
That is really similar to...
So, Rosie, why don't you ask him how he came up
I'm
with you?
asking with the book.
Okay, where you
Well, I
going?
have to do one thing first. So I'm going to assign Joel his note.
Wow.
Joel's getting a sound his note. Yeah, okay.
And so 1, 2...
Never know what's going to happen to the Ask Rosie show.
This is a G3. It is the color green and magenta.
Green and magenta. You got that, people?
Yeah, that's good.
That's you, Joel.
Okay,
That's
Rosie,
pretty good.
why don't you ask him where you
So
get the
what
idea to write the
inspired you
book?
to write Mirror Touch?
Well, so I was inspired to write Mirror Touch. So I didn't really talk to many people about the synesthesia that I experienced, and it was only until there was a lot of research around it that I felt like I could talk to the research and share it with people and talk about my story. My story, I don't think I could have told it without talking about Mirror Touch. And the first time that people started to hear about my story, I kept getting lots of messages from people saying, "Oh my gosh, me too, I had that experience also." And because of that, I felt it was worth kind of opening up more and sharing about it. And I keep hearing more and more messages from people, not just me too, but also that it's fascinating, that they want to learn more about it, because it just goes to show that we all see the world differently from everybody else.
Yeah. That is a phenomenal show. That is great. Yeah.
So where can they get Mirror Touch, Rosie?
So, where'd you get Mirror Touch?
No, where can they buy the book?
You can buy the book on Amazon. I'm sorry about that.
Any other questions you want to ask Joel? Anybody have any questions out there?
Anyone have any questions for Joel or me?
We have a
please
studio
feel free
audience,
to ask.
actually.
Yes, here's the studio audience today. Yeah.
Matthew Capucci and my two sisters.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yay! Do you have a question, Matthew?
Ooh, let's see. I guess what age were you when you first knew that you had synesthesia, or you knew something was a little bit different?
So, looking back, I would say I always had a sense that there was something different or odd about me, but I always kind of chalked it up to being a really weird kid. I was always really finicky about the colors of my letters. Like A had to be red, B had to be a light orange, number 1 had to be a bright yellow. And when I would watch TV, I had the same mirrored sensation just watching cartoons. So like watching the Roadrunner, when the Roadrunner sticks his tongue out, I feel like my tongue is sticking out. When I see a body carried get hit by a truck, I feel like I'm hit by a truck. I even knew what it felt like watching the Golden Girls, seeing Dorothy pat her perm and give Blanche a look to Blanche. So, my whole life I've kind of known that there was this experience, but it was only until my first year in medical school that I learned that synesthesia was even a thing, let alone that the world I saw was so different from other people.
Yeah, so you have a similar experience when I listen to music. Like all my music I listen to, I feel like I'm those multiple characters, or I feel like I'm that character, whoever's singing the song. Whoever, whatever. So I have that similar experience. Just not with the feeling and all the other stuff, but
yeah. That was one of the things I thought was so fascinating about hearing your story, is that you had a lot of synesthesia too. And it's actually people who have autism tend to have more synesthesia compared to the general population. So there's something about our brains that they're just really chatty brains, kind of talking to each other all the time.
And that is very true, Joel.
Any more questions from the studio audience, Christine?
Please.
No? Nothing? Nothing.
Well, this is Joel has been the first guest on the Ask Rosie show,
Ever.
and we're
Ever.
very
Honored.
very happy to have him come down and visit us. Hope he comes on again, right? And we're going to have a great summer of guests also, and we're going to keep going with this. We want to thank Dr. Joel Salinas, Rosie Doherty. So this is Mike Doherty.
And Rosie Doherty.
And Joel.
And Joel Salinas.
On the Ask Rosie show. We'll see you later, and good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.